You know how like rich people in movies, have like a thing where they'll like do like a clap, and then the lights will turn on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you think it ever happens that like they have that like in their bedroom, and then they're just like clapping cheeks so hard that like the lights just turn off and on every single? It's just like
I
and the
immediately knew that was where this was going.
I didn't. I was taken along for the ride. I had no clue where that was going. And I love the destination, I'll be honest, Freddie. Thank you for taking us on that journey.
Hello and welcome to the Album Spotlight Podcast, the only podcast that puts a spotlight on albums. I'm Noah,
I'm Nathaniel.
And I'm Freddie.
and we're back. We're talking about music.
Back in business.
We're in our remote era. We're kind of
Yeah.
in season 2 of the Album Spotlight Podcast.
Yeah.
Freddie ran away.
Yeah.
For Freddie ran away. I'm currently my fiance is pregnant at the moment, so I have that going on, and then Noah's working his tiny little butt off to afford an apartment. So we're all doing our own things right now.
Yeah, but we're convening, talking about Blues Clues. That's not Blues Clues affiliated, but Blues Clues affiliated.
Blues Clues. You fight it for a purpose. That's the first clue. You put it in and all because the Blues Clues. Sit down and think what you think. Yeah, that's right, boys. We're gonna listen to some Steve Burns. Steve from Blues Clues, baby. The childhood hero. Coming back in action. He's
All
back,
right.
baby. Back in 2003? 2? When did this come out?
I think it was 3.
Coming back from 2003.
We're talking about songs for Dustmites by Steve Burns.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah, it's the album he did.
Yeah.
The
Should we say who this guy is if we didn't like? Do you remember Steve from Blues Clues?
He's Mr. Blues Clues.
Yeah.
one who left for college because he was going bald, and then fucking Joe replaced him, and we don't want to talk about that because Joe's just a sorry replacement for Steve.
It's fucked up what they did to Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah, he left because he was going bald and didn't want the kids to see it.
They made me too traumatized.
You're not old enough to see a bald person yet.
No.
Can't have them reckoning with that possibility.
Trying to comprehend it.
Yeah, that's like harder for a child to understand the mortality, so that they might lose their hair.
I would agree, honestly.
So yeah, the Blues Clues guy made an album.
He did.
Yeah, it's a real album. It exists. I guess
Yeah.
technically he made 2 albums.
Yeah, okay, so he made another album under his solo thing, which never came out. And then he made another album with the guy from the, what is it, Flaming Lips, right?
Yeah, the Flaming Lips.
Yeah,
Yeah, Steve Drozdy.
Yeah, he made a kids album with him after this album, which was like much later in 2015, I think, around there. But yeah, this is his only album that's like a serious normal album. It's not like for kids, which he's a kids entertainer. That's his whole thing. But he wanted to do this the one time, so more power to him, honestly.
Do you remember any of Blues Clues? I have like barely any Blues Clues memories.
I remember the mail.
Mail time.
Yeah, I don't exactly remember how the song goes.
Like,
It was like,
when I
what is
was
it?
a
Like,
wag your tail, when I wash your man,
mail. Yeah, I remember it ends with May, and I remember there's like, I wag my tail.
I remember the Christmas episode. He goes, "It's snowing and we're going," and I don't remember anything else from it. I just remember that one part. And there's a shitty PS1 video game I played as a child with
Yeah,
horrific graphics.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
that
It really is. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about Mr. Steve Burns' album. Yeah. Well, what did you guys think initially when I pitched this? Like, what do you think you were gonna get into?
I mean, when I saw the cover, just like, I mean, we have to have our obligatory cover discussion. I mean, it's like it's so extremely minimal that I just like assumed, and I'd seen this cover before. I've like seen this album around for many years, but I hadn't heard it before this. So I just like always I just assumed it would be like one acoustic guitar, kind of thing. It did have acoustic guitar on it, but it had other things too. There's that. It's actually quite busy.
Yeah, I had a pretty similar impression or expectation. I knew that Flaming Lips were involved, so I figured there might be something else going on with it. Yeah, I definitely thought it would be more singer-songwriter-y.
You weren't expecting some alternative elements.
Yeah, it had more rock, I guess, more rock elements.
Yeah,
It was more orchestrated than I thought it would be.
it's kind of rocking and rolling.
Yeah, it's kind of rocking and rolling. Not gonna lie, Chief.
Well, why did you want to pick this album, Nathaniel?
Because I remember this album exceeding my expectations when I first listened to it. I'm like, this will be an interesting conversation. Just because it's Steve from Blue's Clues and he made this like somewhat serious, normal album. I just think that's very funny. But I think it's generally like it's a pretty good album. I mean, I think at least like it's when you think like the guy from Blue's Clues made a rock album, you probably like your initial thought's like, oh, this is gonna fucking suck. Like this is gonna blow
That guy
chunks.
looks just like a fucking idiot. He could never make an album. Every time I see him, I was like, God damn it! I hope he never makes an album.
Now there's a man
Yeah,
with no
but I-
talent.
Not an ounce.
Frankly, he should never have been born.
Yeah.
Well, that's a little much, maybe. But, you know.
Yeah. Pull it back, man. That's a little too much.
I will not
That's a little- that's-
apologize. That was my firm opinion.
I never said he should apologize. I'm just.
You know, cancel me if you
What
want.
about
I don't even care.
that? Yeah. Yeah, our one viewer. We'll get canceled.
You cannot silence me. I am speaking the truth.
One viewer that's listening, cancel Noah.
Hey, man. I mean, our last episode was kind of popping off, relatively speaking.
Yeah, man.
It was popping off. Thank you, by the way, for everyone who listens.
Yeah. Shout out to our one YouTube comment. I'm gonna
Yeah,
I'm
shout
gonna
out.
find his username and shout him out by name.
Do it.
Yeah.
We love you. Well, we don't love you, but you know we appreciate you. You're doing some parasocial shit immediately.
Oh, this is gonna be a tough one to pronounce. Shout out Ashe Guevara.
That sounds right to me.
Yeah, for supporting the channel with your kind words.
There's some podcasts like shout out their Patreon supporters. We shout out our like single commenter.
Yeah. Well, this is a good time to bring up again that we will make a Patreon if there's a demand for it, and we will put out a bonus episode where we discuss $3 Bill Y'all by Limp Bizkit. So
No,
we
is that,
decided
is,
on?
it,
yeah, that was what we decided on.
is that?
Okay, I'll believe it.
Yeah, once we get one patron. Yeah, but first somebody has to beg for it first.
Yeah, I mean, I think his vocals are very heartfelt. Like he's definitely not like a proficient singer by any means, but there's a lot of like emotion behind it.
Yeah, I would agree. I think he's expressive.
Very, yeah.
I think his voice has a good tone to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's generally pretty laid back, but not to the point where it's too boring or anything. Yeah, he has some range, I think.
Yeah.
He does, yeah. Like the opening track, he's very like energetic during the choruses, and then like Stick Around, he's very like mournful almost. Yeah, he has a bit of range there, which I can appreciate.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if you're steeped in the general goings on of the indie world circa 2000s, this will be pretty familiar territory, I think. But it's definitely got kind of I don't know. It's got its own little thing going on. It's very like yeah. I mean, I think the first thing that struck me was just like how it's like very not afraid of electronics, which is kind of fun. There's a lot of like big just sort of like big, you know, in your face like synth basses and stuff, and like
yeah,
and big synth pads and things that are very like yeah, that are very prominent. I mean, the first track I was just thinking like the I don't know. There's a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really I love the sound of the sound. It's really fun.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd say it's very I hope I'm not out of line in identifying perhaps some Radiohead OK Computer in this.
I mean, it's very likely with how the time period of this album. It's very likely.
Yeah. That was one of the early.
You're not allowed.
Yeah, like I don't make that comparison lightly because it's very done to death as we know. But I think
Mhm.
there's very often will be like synth pads that are like a repitched vocal sample, like exactly like on a bunch of tracks on OK Computers. I feel like that's I reminded of, let's see, like the Postal Service, Death Cab for Cutie kind of stuff.
Mhm.
If I can see it sort of fitting in there, and then of course the Flaming Lips.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
that's like the main thing I hear is a lot of Flaming Lips because he's working with them.
Yeah, especially like 2000s, like just Yoshimi had just come out, I think. Yeah, it reminds me a lot of Yoshimi. I mean, the influence might have been more from like the Soft Bulletin, which is a couple years earlier.
Yeah.
But like a lot of the production tricks that are on this album sound pretty similar to Yoshimi. Yeah, it's Steve Drozd, or however you say his name.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Drozd
Drugs.
on the drums and guitars and other instruments, and so it's like the drumming is very Flaming Lips because it's just the guy from Flaming Lips doing it,
Mhm.
and then their producer is on a lot of tracks,
Yeah.
Dave Fridman.
Yeah, it's a bit. It's sort of in part like a Flaming Lip side project. I think it would be fair to say.
I think that's like the best way to put this album, honestly.
Yeah.
Kind of a Flaming Lips
Yeah,
side project with Steve Burns like doing a lot of the writing for the music and the vocals, but other than that, it's very much like Flaming Lips adjacent.
yeah. I hear what you were bringing up though, Freddie. It feels like there's kind of some like indie tronica stuff
Yeah.
happening.
It's a world I'm very familiar with, and so it was very immediately accessible.
Yeah, it's definitely not a hard listen by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah, I found this album pairs best with like a lazy day off. Maybe on a Saturday even.
Oh.
Could be what you do on a Saturday is you could listen to this album. What are you guys reacting to? Like the first track is pretty loud.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of this album has many loud moments. Like this and the title track have very loud moments in it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it has that classic Flaming Lips, just like kind of going off on the drums, not doing anything really flashy, but just like they're mixed pretty high, and he's hitting them really
Slamming
hard.
them.
Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
bopping them.
Yeah, yeah, it really gives it this kind of propulsiveness that I wouldn't have expected. So I was struck by that for sure.
Hmm.
I think that's one of the things that makes this album stand out. Yeah, I would say I generally prefer the more orchestrated moments on it. The more like the songs that have just more
The
instrumental
big
parts.
singles. I don't think there were any singles. Were they singles?
Well, yeah, I think Mighty Little Man. Well, Mighty Little Man
Yeah, say it,
soundtrack
say it.
is the
They-
theme to my favorite television show, Young Sheldon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was wondering when we were gonna get to that. Yeah, that's so awesome. Because
Yeah.
because he's a young Sheldon, so he's mighty little man. He's the mighty
That's
little man
really
song.
funny.
That's so awesome.
They couldn't find a song called "Cheeky Little Shit."
I guarantee you, they just like looked up like, oh, we need a song that's like about being little and powerful. It's like, oh, My Little Man. There you go.
There we go. Yeah, have any of you actually like no shame like actually ever seen an episode of Young Sheldon? Because I don't even know what.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have because my
what's
parents
the
watched
hype?
it.
I've not seen as much of a second.
My
Yeah,
parents watch
I've
it.
also never like I've seen The Big Bang Theory. So is it like The Big Bang Theory, or is it like different?
No, like it's a lot more like a heartfelt, like a That 70s Show kind of thing. Less so than the Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
It's a very different show.
Huh. Yeah.
It feels like it was made in like the 80s.
Yeah.
Would you say it's better or worse?
From the 2 episodes I watched with my parents, I'd say it's better because it's not just like pop cultural reference and then laugh track and then pop cultural reference and laugh track. It's like
Really?
yeah, it's like legitimate characters and the family drama and all this stuff that was only talked about in the show. Because I did watch
So
a
you'd
lot of it.
recommend it?
Mhm.
No,
Are you saying
I
you're a
just it was just
fan?
listen. Being
You're
better
saying
than the
you're a
Big
mighty
Bang
little
Theory
fan?
yeah, I'm a Milo fan. Being better than the Big Bang Theory is not a high praise. I am saying though that it does go over that like inch long
Yeah.
fucking hurdle.
Okay, but how does Mighty Little Man compare to the Big Bang Theory theme done by the Bare Naked Ladies?
I think I prefer Mighty Little Man personally, but you know.
Hot take, hot take.
Yeah. You're not into.
Piping hot there.
That's pretty fucking hot.
I'll
Jeez.
start with a big bang. Yeah, I remember. I remember how that one goes.
Bang,
We should review. We should do an album spotlight just on that song because there's so
I
much
thought you were
going
gonna say
on, you know.
review
Because
that.
they're talking about like the whole universe, man. So it's like
You know, if the Patreon wants it, we could stretch it into a whole episode.
Patreon. If we make over $200 a month, we will review every season of The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. As an
So
album spotlight.
You know, now I have to decide whether I cut that out or keep that in, and like that editing decision will like be a potential commitment.
Are we actually
Yeah.
binded to that if we like keep that bit?
How many seasons of The Big Bang Theory
It's
are
like
there? I think we need to
Gotta be
go.
14.
so many.
Just
It's
like
gotta be like
14?
I was
There's a
gonna say
lot.
15. 14. Oh my god.
I think there's like 14.
Okay, it's gonna have to be more than $200. It's gonna have to be more than $200. It would
If we're getting, how about like,
it had to be like more than 200 per person, I think.
yeah, what about if our Patreon, if like all of us can pay our rents exclusively on the Patreon, how about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there's 12 seasons. There's 12 seasons.
If I could quit my job and do this.
Then we won't do every single episode. We won't do episode. We'll just do like a podcast per season. So we'll all watch the season, you know.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
come together and
How many
talk about
episodes per season?
it. I don't know, like 12 maybe. I think.
I'm gonna have to look that up because they seem like pretty cheap to produce.
I bet there's like 24.
Oh,
That was my thought that these might be monstrously long
yeah,
seasons.
I bet it's like old Star Trek.
oh God. I would rather, doing next gen would be so fun to do, but
That would
the
be
first two
really
seasons
fun.
kind of suck.
Yeah, there's so much shit in next gen, but it's like what's good, it's so good. I don't know.
When it's
And that's
bad,
so
it's
much of Star Trek.
really bad.
There's just like they have to do so many fucking episodes every season, and so there's just like so many shit ones, and then there's like 5 really awesome ones and those are the ones you remember. And when you say
Yeah.
like you love Star Trek, you're like think of the 5 episodes, and there's so many seasons of it. You know, there's so many good episodes, but like there's so many
Mhm.
more bad episodes.
Oh no. Okay, so there are 12 seasons, but most of the seasons have 24 episodes each.
Jesus Christ. How long are the episodes? Like 24 minutes?
Or about like an average of 15 minutes, maybe.
Okay, well, you heard it here. For if we could pay our rent with with the Patreon, we will do that.
I don't know. We started talking about Mighty Little Band. I think that's definitely one of the standouts for me on the album. I think it's hilarious that it's the Young Sheldon theme, and I also think it's quite a good track. There's like an interesting like school of like album sequencing where you just put your most like sort of like balls to the wall like in your face track like the first one, and then the rest of the album doesn't reach that like level of energy. That's very much the case here.
Oh
It's
yeah.
Yeah.
like, it just like hits you right from the start. And the rest of it's like is a mix. It goes from like extremely quiet, chill to like maybe approaching this energy, but definitely never like at this level of energy. Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Here's what I think. It's sequenced so it's really loud, and then there's a quiet track, maybe another quiet track, and then it's a more loud track, and then a quiet track, and that's it does that the whole album basically. But it
Yeah,
never gets the energy of My Little Man.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean it's got like really kind of heavy guitars. Like the way it's mixed, it doesn't it doesn't sound like a metal song or anything, but those
I think it sounds like a metal song.
oh well, I didn't fucking
I
ask
don't
you.
actually. That was stupid.
That's a good point, Noah.
I know this is an album discussion, but like I'm kind of here to just say my piece and ignore you guys.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm just
sorry.
gonna lay that on the table.
We overstepped
Yeah.
their bounds. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so how about you just let me talk at you for a second, and then you can talk at me a little bit, but I'm not gonna listen.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair, honestly.
All right to me.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. We're on the same page now. So yeah, the guitars on here, it's almost like chugs. It chugs a
Yeah.
little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My Little Man, and then there's one part in what is the track called? Saturday. I
What I
won't
do
tell
on
you.
What I
and
do on Saturday?
Yeah, what I do. There's a part that goes wow 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 like with the guitar.
Yeah.
Like, there's a
Oh
few
yeah.
there's a few points where the guitars are kind of chuggy, which I can appreciate.
Yeah.
And then there's other
Yeah.
times where it's just like an acoustic track.
Yeah.
The drumming is like really energetic, and usually the guitars and synths are really buzzing. Yeah, besides the flaming lips, I think it's not like too common to do that approach.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I guess Radiohead was kind of doing that.
Yeah.
We don't talk about them. Except
Yeah.
when I brought them up as the first person to bring them up.
Radiohead, Swans, and Death Grips are off the table as
Yeah,
comparisons.
that's kind of like the trifecta.
It's like, okay, can you talk about music without comparing them to these artists?
Yeah, that is really
Cool.
like what are we? We're like the rate your music generation, or whatever,
Yeah.
music fan.
Rate your music users trying to
Yeah,
talk to other people.
like the
Mhm.
Fantano generation of music fans. I don't know.
The
It's just
Fantano
like,
generation.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think definitely Radiohead and Death Grips. That's true for like everyone that like had like the Fantano upbringing. We might be a little unique with
Yeah.
Swans. It's probably not everyone. Probably that's a
I think that's probably true. I think Swans with their song lengths and just like not that much of a consensus on where you start with them, I think that's enough to put some people off.
you got to be ready to like get into the muck if you want to like be a Swans fan.
You either need to get in the muck or have a friend who knows swans to help you.
Yeah.
I'll just go straight into it. My favorite track is "Stick Around."
Ah,
Same.
Personally,
Yeah, that's also my favorite
interesting
track.
pick. Interesting pick. You know, I was just thinking. I was listening to the album today, and I was like, man, Stick Around's really good. Like this one's kind of
Yeah,
super
isn't it?
underrated
It's so
just because it's
good.
quiet.
yeah, I mean it's it's like right in the middle, and it's one of the quieter moments, so I can see why it would be kind of passed over. It looks like it's not one of the more streamed ones, which I guess makes sense. But I think it just does a really good job of building an atmosphere.
Yeah.
I like his really low vocals on that one.
Yeah, they're very like husky.
Go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you
Go away.
understand. Oh, that part is so good. It's like of all the things you can
Yeah.
say, go away. It's like, oh, that's really sad.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, I think it's like really emotionally impactful.
fucking
It really
trumpet.
just like brings you to a place. Like I mean, like the orchestration, like
Yeah.
it's very well arranged.
Yeah, the cello. Is
Um,
that what that is? The
Yeah.
main is that
There's
like the really
yeah, there's a
bassy one?
cello.
Yeah, that part. I remember as a kid, like when the cello started playing, I was like, whoa, this is really fucking
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. There's a real cello. There's a real trumpet.
Yeah, and I love the ending bit where it kind of uplifts a little bit.
yeah, it goes doo 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 doo, or whatever. There's like a little like there's like it like
Oh
settles
yeah,
into this
at the
nice little
very end,
space, and there's like all this little synth thing. It's like doo 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 doo
and then
doo
there's like a
doo.
really like spacey guitar just kind of like
Yeah,
going off.
yeah,
No, yeah,
Yeah,
Stick Around is definitely, in my opinion, it's like the best track by far.
but yeah, I think the production in general is just really good on this album.
yeah,
Yeah, it hits hard when it wants to. It's spacey when it wants to be. I think the title track is really good as well.
yeah. Title track's cool.
Yeah,
Like especially where it goes round and round, and then like the piano like goes off really hard. That part specifically, I love.
I like that one has a pretty nice crescendo, which most of
Mhm.
the songs don't. So that kind of makes it stick out.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's when he said the drums, I'm like always talking about Song for Dustmites. The title track is the only track other than Stick Around that I feel like really like hits a chord with me emotionally.
Yeah, it
Like,
has a somewhat similar kind of emotional timbre to it.
yeah,
I don't think that makes sense. Emotional timbre. That doesn't really make sense.
yeah. Not really,
Emotional
not
quality
really a
to it.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, kind of like a fake music critic phrase I'm trying to coin
I
there.
think you
and-
just stick the words
Yeah.
together and they'll make sense. Well, I'm here to say,
Who the fuck are you, Merriam-Webster?
Merriam-Webster of Webster's Dictionary fame.
Oh.
Holy shit.
Known primarily for Webster's Dictionary.
You're the guy from the start of all the high school speeches. I found you.
Oh, I know you. You're the guy who defines things as. Dude, oh my god, you've been cited in like every shitty essay. Oh my god.
Everyone.
Merriam-Webster.
Oh.
He's a single person for sure.
Yeah,
His name is
Mr.
definitely
Merriam-Webster.
one person.
He fucks.
He,
Yeah.
he's kind of like unique in that his first and last name are hyphenated together.
Yeah.
You could probably legally do that.
Yeah.
Probably legally hyphenate your own name.
How would you do like if you're like could you do it like could you just like have it like your first name as just like the two hyphenated names, or you could do like your first name and then have a hyphen and then have the last name in the second box or something? I don't know.
Yeah, like if it's a format where you have to put your last name first.
Yeah.
Hyphen the rapper.
Would you listen to a rapper if his stage name was hyphen?
I would be
Hyphen,
like
hyphen the rapper.
I don't know. Hyphen reminds me a lot of like gives me the same vibe as like Logic, you know? It would be like a Logic ripoff. Like if it was hyphen the rapper, it would be like Logic plus Chance the Rapper maybe, or just like I don't know. That if that was the case, I'd be like okay. I wouldn't like think they're a real artist. This is some like 12-year-old YouTube channel or something.
Yeah, nobody could really do blank the rapper anymore.
Yeah.
No.
What might be my favorite is the song Maintain. I love the fucking
Mm.
I just
And I'm
can't get enough of
standing on the
that.
corner.
I like the drum groove on that one too.
Yeah.
I like the synth.
Yeah, the synth like wow wow wow.
Yeah, it's like really
Yeah,
warbly. I like
I
it.
just like I just like can't get enough of this track. I think it's so catchy and fun.
It just reminds me of like a summer road trip. Just so fun to listen to.
Yeah, I like Maintain a lot as well. I also like Troposphere.
Yeah, that's another really
Yes,
cool
I
one.
love the beginning. Whatever that synth is at the very beginning. I cannot get enough of that.
Oh yeah,
like
the
the
wow wow
reverse.
wow wow wow. Like
Yeah,
that
that
thing.
part is so good.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, something reverse. It might be. Let's see.
I also really like those like wow wow.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
like
the
drum bass.
like those little
Yeah.
synth bass.
Yeah, the synth bass. That's a real Flaming Lips move.
Yeah.
That was one that they were doing a lot at that time.
Yeah.
Just those like really chunky, like kind of quirky synth sounds.
Yeah.
This is one of the ones that would fit the most on Yoshibi, I feel like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the crescendo on Troposphere is really good too. Lately,
Yeah.
I just haven't been myself.
Yeah. Oh man, that's pretty. Yeah, that's very fun.
Yeah. Also, the lyrics here are like I like it because it's not like really specific, but they're very provocative, or however you say that word.
Yeah. Provocative.
Provocative, yeah.
Yeah, like when you hear them, you're like, oh, that's the emotion. Like you feel it immediately. Like you know what he's going for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. It gets across what he's trying to get across. Not too on the nose.
Probably at least it felt like maybe half of these songs were seemed to be about either like a failing relationship or a breakup. And I wonder if this is sort of like it's sort of like a soft like breakup album.
Like yeah.
I very much get that.
I get those vibes.
Yeah.
I get those vibes. The whole album, I think, has a pretty like relaxed but bittersweet kind of tone to it.
Yeah.
Sonically and emotionally, where it does kind of feel like it's not one of those breakup albums. If it is like, if you can call it a breakup album, it's not one of those where it's like happening right like in the breakup. Like it doesn't really feel like that. It feels like moving on from a breakup.
It feels very retrospective and nostalgic, but it's very bittersweet. Like he's like looking back on these memories. That's what I get, anyways.
It kind of has that like 2000s music video where it's just like the singer walking down a gray street in New York.
Absolutely.
It has those vibes.
I don't know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
absolutely what I get.
Yeah.
That's what every music video had to be for a while.
Yeah. Just the walking video. It's such a fucking funny thing.
I instantly thought of James Blunt's "You're Beautiful" when he said that, where he's just walking in the snow towards the camera.
Yeah.
I thought of the one. Is it the Verve Bittersweet Symphony that
Yeah,
has
Bittersweet
that has a
Symphony.
walking video?
Yep.
Yeah, it does. I don't know.
Yeah, that one
Like
does.
a million more.
I think "Saving Me" by Nickelback has
Yeah,
one.
of course.
That
There's a bunch of butt rock ones that have.
"Wasting My Time."
Yeah, wasting
Default.
time.
My time.
It is like
Wasting
time.
my time. And then they go into a fucking clock.
Yeah, they're like
a
in this.
CGI Spy
Oh
Kids
yeah.
ass clock.
It literally
Wait, is
could
that the
be
one
as like.
where they're in the watch?
Yeah, they're in
Or what am
somebody's
I
like
thinking?
a watch, and it's like the shitty CGI thing where you like
Yeah.
it looks so terrible. It's like absolutely hilarious.
You and me and you, more than one, somehow less than two.
Can I just say I think the album cover is like not good.
You don't like the album cover?
I'm not a fan. No, I think it's just boring.
I don't know. I think it's a little cute. I don't know. It was it. I will say I saw this cover long before I listened to the album. Like
Mhm.
I did like have, if only because it's kind of unique and like kind of instantly recognizable. I had like the cover like was like stuck in my head when we were talking about the album. I was like, oh yeah, this album, because I like recognized the cover. So I don't know. For what it's worth.
I like the little guys.
The little guys
I
are
like the
cute.
little Dustmites.
You like the
I like how
Dustmites?
they're looking in different. Yeah, I like how they're looking in different directions.
Yeah, I like how they're just sort of diffusing from the center, and they just have like a neutral face. Yeah, they're very cute. That's the main thing I do like about the cover. The rest of it's like it's just like white.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm kind of over the whole no caps or all caps
yeah,
thing,
yeah. It's
especially when the track list is like that. Yeah, like I
really
fucking
like
get it, Travis Scott. Your songs are like big or whatever.
yeah, yeah. Like
I
the all
get it.
caps thing, they're like doing the damn thing. Like nothing's capitalized, and it's like okay, cool. You're like you're like Phoebe Bridgers clone number 10 million. Or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like
And if it's lowercase, then it's Billie Eilish clone.
yeah.
So
Or
that
Steve.
makes Steve Burns a Billie Eilish
Yeah, I
clone.
was gonna
Sorry,
say
Steve Burns.
Steve Burns,
Sorry.
Billie Eilish clone. Wow, Steve.
Yeah, I mean, would you disagree with me, Nathaniel?
No, I mean that's what I was gonna ask you. I was like, does that mean he's a clone? But I guess so. That's
Yeah,
honestly,
I mean,
you should do better.
that's my number one criticism of this album is
Too
there's a
much
bit too
Billie
much
Eilish.
Billie Eilish influence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
that's
though
fair, honestly.
she was like what, like 1 year old when this album came out or something, right?
Yeah, I mean, some people are born to be a star, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The song "A Reason" doesn't do a whole lot for me.
It's definitely the most thing song on here.
Yeah, I feel similar.
Yeah, I think it's the only one to me that feels like maybe not quite finished yet.
Yeah.
What about less than one, or however you would say that one?
Yeah.
I feel somewhat similarly about that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say that and Reason are the only two songs that I'm like, these I could skip these songs. They're not like bad. They're just there's not
Yeah.
much going on with them.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do like the
Yeah.
ending to Less Than One. That's kind of fun, where it like starts to break into like a thing where it goes like do the do 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 do
Oh yeah,
or
yeah.
like and then it gets like some synths come in and like I don't know, but it just kind of like ends then.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know.
Yeah, it does have a little more going on. I think that puts it a little bit over a region for me.
There's like the sort of standout tracks that I think of as like the good one, and then there's like a lot of other ones that I'm like I don't know, that track was all right. I don't know. They don't like
Yeah.
particularly just like or anything. It's just like I don't know.
And then there's a few
Yeah.
filler.
Yeah, like it probably could have been
Yeah,
trimmed a
I'd
little
say
bit.
it's a little
Yeah,
a little uneven maybe. It's not like a long album.
yeah,
No.
It's 45 minutes. That's a pretty good length for an album.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a couple of them could be left off, and I wouldn't have been too upset.
yeah,
Hmm.
Not that any of them like make me rage or anything.
Yeah, they make
Yeah.
make you rage quit.
Despite all your rage, I think at worst this album is just like boring at worst. Like I don't think there's a bad
Yeah.
track per se.
Yeah, I think at worst it's like okay.
Yeah.
I think a decent portion of this album is okay, and then a lot of it is pretty good, and then like Stick Around is great in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. Stick Around is definitely the highlight of this album. That and Maintain and no, actually, I like the title track. I like Maintain.
Yeah, I like those
My Little
Mighty
Man.
Little Man,
Yeah.
What I Do on a Saturday is fun.
Troposphere. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There's
there are
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
good
really good
tracks.
songs on here.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's sort of like a third or so of the album that I think is like very good solid tracks. And then there's a lot of like
Mhm.
all right, like pretty good sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This could have been shortened to an EP.
I noticed it sounded like he got to do a bit of an alt rock thing on A Sniveling Mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about that
If
track.
I'm a man. Yeah. What is it?
Yeah, I kind of like it, but it feels like a bit 90s radio, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the beginning.
I do like the fucking flanger though. At one point in that song, like there's like where he's saying like hold on, and it,
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just like out of nowhere, it's the Electric Wizard flanger.
yeah, it's so I don't know. A tasteful flanger on the master. I'm always down for it.
Yeah, just flanging your whole song for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like that song. I think
I'm not sure it fits with the other tracks, but I do like.
it's a little out of place for sure.
Yeah.
It seems to be the second least streamed on here, besides the very end. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you think of the last track?
yeah. I sort of I
I
forget the last track.
also kind of forget.
I like the flutes. I like the ending. Takes a little while to start up though.
Yeah, now that I'm listening to it, it's very cool.
Yeah, it's a fun ending, I think.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like a cool sort of well orchestrated, mostly instrumental. It doesn't really go anywhere super daring, but it's like, it's cool for what it is, and it's certainly like well put together.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw like the title is, I'm gonna give away that I'm a nerd. When I saw the title for Super Strings, I was immediately like, is he talking about superstring theory?
Oh, maybe. Maybe.
I feel like probably not.
It makes me want to shove your head in the locker.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I just had to say it. That is like
Steal your lunch
is, like-
money type beat.
that is like what I think of every time I listen to it.
Yeah, I think the closing track here, Henry Crinkle's Lament. It might be like a little bit of just a victim of being the closer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just by that point in the album, I'm not paying a whole lot of attention.
Yeah.
That's fair.
That might just be a sequencing thing. I think if I don't know, I think Troposphere would have been a pretty good closer, actually.
Yeah.
I
That
think
would have been a great
it could have
closer,
used
yeah.
it maybe could have used some lift as far as like sequencing goes.
Yeah, it goes out with a whimper a little bit. I think like putting one of the big singles at the end could be
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know where you would even put this song if not like I guess just maybe replace this with a reason and then take a reason out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that could work.
Yeah.
And then just put Troposphere or a song for Dustmites at the very end.
Yeah, Song for Dustmites might work too.
Yeah.
Like it makes sense for it to be lower key, but just like have something with like a bit more progression that has some lift at the end.
Hear me out. What if he left the album entirely the same, and then he just put Mighty Little Man at the end, like
Again.
So you
Wait,
can,
Mighty Little Man, Young Sheldon ended.
So he
Oh.
has the actor for Young Sheldon, who's probably like a fetus at this time.
Not anymore.
Sing it.
He was when the show started, but the show's like 4 years old now, so he's like a
Yeah.
teenager now.
Or it's like
I
but
think.
it's like the show started what, like 2012 or something. Maybe it wasn't that long ago.
Mighty
I don't
Little
know.
or
Maybe it
Big
was more
Bang
recent than
Theory?
that. Like when
No,
did
it's
Young
Young
Sheldon
Sheldon,
start? Was that like
20
2016?
16.
2016 or so? Yeah.
It's so timeless. It just feels like it's been around forever. You know, it's just one of those classics that defines
Yeah.
time a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is.
You always, people always bring up. It's usually first you got Breaking Bad, then The Sopranos, then Young Sheldon.
Yeah.
True. It's true.
So it's always in the same breath there.
Yeah. Just timeless.
Absolutely
Yeah.
timeless.
Timeless, but it also defines a generation, I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's not
Mhm.
that timeless.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it looks. I'm on the Wikipedia page for Young Sheldon. It looks like Elon Musk does make a cameo.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Really? That's really
That's just like,
cool.
so awesome that
Was
that's
this before or after he bought Twitter?
Okay, when did this episode come out?
That's
Oh, this
important.
episode does not. The episode does not have a Wikipedia page. I'm gonna do my research. I'm gonna have to hit IMDb for this one.
Thank you. Thank
We
you.
don't have a. We don't have a Jamie in Joe
A
Rogan
Jamie?
terms. We don't have a Jamie.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't listen to enough Joe Rogan to
Yeah.
get that. I guess. Is he like the editor or something?
that's good. You shouldn't.
Yeah. I also
Yeah,
that reference as a non-Joe Rogan listener.
I tried listening to Joe Rogan one time because my brother sent me an episode, and I was like, I can't do it. Oh my god, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Fucking Joe Rogan.
I listened to the one with Maynard James Keenan, and I was like, Maynard seems like a much more intelligent person than Joe Rogan this whole time. That's all I could think of.
I mean, yeah, not a high bar, but I think Maynard reaches that bar for sure.
Yeah.
I'm
Only
still
made-
I'm still in the trenches here looking for this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Thank
it
you.
already
Thank you.
has 128 episodes, 7 seasons already. Jesus.
Well, when did it start? When did it come out? When did it come out? Like maybe the 17.
Oh, okay. Thankfully, it's 2017, so definitely
Okay.
pre
Yes.
X, pre the Twitter rebrand X.
Have you seen the new
Yeah.
icon for it too? As like the weird like Instagram thing on in the background. It's not like a black thing anymore. It's just like weird white speckles in it now. Yeah, look at your icon. It's not just a black background with an X. It's a black background with an X and also like some weird like
Yeah,
weird
I like
filter
don't have
on the
app,
back.
so I don't know.
Yeah, I also do not have I never have an account, so.
Yeah.
You're better off for it probably.
You know, I bet Elon Musk like sits alone and watches The Big Bang Theory and like and gives it like a deep belly laugh, you know? Like
Oh,
he
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
it's like really funny.
He also loves Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well-
for sure. I bet when he watches The Big Bang Theory, he literally slaps his knee.
Yeah.
Literally.
I bet, I bet he has to pause it. He's like, "Whew, give me a second."
Give me a moment. Oh, that got me. That got me actually. That's pretty
Yeah.
funny.
He was like,
He's alone. He's alone in his room, and he says that.
Yeah, his daughter's left him. His wife's left him. He's just alone in his giant house, laughing at Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
like so definitely what his life is.
Yeah,
And then
no.
he turns off. He turns it off. He sees his reflection in the TV in the black mirror. He just like sits there for a second and like almost has a human thought,
Yeah.
and then posts a Doge meme on Twitter or something.
And then he thinks about fighting Mark Zuckerberg.
Yeah, he's never going to. I mean, he didn't he just say that like his mom won't let him do it.
Yeah, his mom won't let him do it. That's what he
Oh my
that's what he
God.
said on Twitter. Or I'm sorry, on X.
Zuckerberg could kill him.
Probably would have buddied him.
I don't know if it's like better or worse that it didn't happen. That's not going to happen. Because I don't like the rehabilitation of Zuckerberg's image with this whole shit.
Yeah.
Is that what's happening?
I mean, people are acting like he's the reasonable one now
Yeah.
because it's like in comparison, I guess so. But like remember, guys, he's like the weird robot man.
Yeah, he's the lizard man who like sold people's data. He's not a good man.
I don't know. It's like it seems so hard for people to learn that like there just aren't any good billionaires. Like that's kind of the point.
Oh, they'll never learn that.
Yeah.
we just like the whole like there's not like this isn't like a thing where like some of them are some of them are like good helpful people and some of them aren't. It's just like we shouldn't have billionaires. It's not that complicated. These are
Freddie,
people
they got
that are
their
like-
money by their own grit of their teeth and the string of their bootstrap. They got
yeah.
there.
They just like worked.
They worked a billion times harder than you do, and somebody has to. Okay,
Yeah.
somebody has to pick up your goddamn slack.
They
Yeah.
started where you started, Freddie. So why not let them have that money?
Yeah.
Elon was deep in the emerald mine, dude. He had to work his way up.
His dad called him out recently. Did you see that?
I think I did.
I don't remember. I don't know the
Yeah, I
context,
definitely did.
but I just remember it happened. And it was very funny.
It was something like Elon saying that he was self-made, and then his dad's like, "Excuse me, bitch.
Yeah, yeah, I think that
That's
was
pretty
it.
awesome.
Who paid for all your shit?"
I don't even know anything about music. I'm just bullshitting. I've never even heard this album.
Yeah, we've just been like making up everything we've said.
Yeah, none of these track names are real. Stick Around's not real.
Yeah.
I wonder how convincing it would be if we actually did just pick a random album that we like knew some things about but hadn't heard,
Yeah.
I would
and like try to do.
I would love to try that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man.
You know what we should
One of them
do?
should just be that. Yeah.
We should do what's that one post rock? That post rock guys that like just sound like just the most boring shit imaginable.
Oh, you're gonna have to be more
Not
specific.
Speaky Black Emperor. No, I don't.
No,
It's
no,
probably
no.
Explosions in the Sky.
Yeah,
It
it's
is, yeah. We should do an
Yeah.
Explosions in the Sky album and just be like, oh, it sounds really epic and big.
Yeah. You know, that's true. Like, if you've heard one of their albums, you've definitely heard all of them. So
Oh,
we can
absolutely.
really just like pick a random one.
That we could actually do that. I don't know like what the utility or entertainment value of that episode would be exactly.
Yeah.
It'd be for us. It'd be for us.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a mini episode or something.
That one wouldn't breach 80 views, that's for sure.
Yeah.
No, that's gonna be our April Fool's video.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go.
I picked this album originally because I thought it'd be like a quick conversation, and then we kind of like it took a while for us to actually do the album, like just to talk about
Yeah.
it. A bit of a break.
Yeah.
Next
Yeah,
album
I
will be
think-
of more substance. I promise, viewers. I promise.
Don't make promises like that.
I think this album is legitimately very nice. Reminds me of the summertime, but it's also very like nostalgic and melancholy.
Yeah, I would agree. I think it's pretty good. I think it pairs well with a lazy day. Kind of similar appeal to the Flaming Lips. Although I'll say the Flaming Lips are a lot more uplifting. It kind of has a similar feeling, but it's a little more of a vibe of like, I'm just getting through it kind of thing, rather than this kind of sense of wonder at the world that the Flaming Lips have a lot of the time. I think there's a time and place for that.
Yeah, I mean these tracks are on many different playlists of mine. Stick Arounds, I've loved that song ever since I heard it in like 2015 or whatever it was. I still think it's a bop.
Mhm.
It's a great song, a very sad bop. So yeah, I mean I don't have a lot more to say about this album other than it's a childhood album of mine. I think it's very good. I recommend it if you just want like some melancholic indie pop rock with some Flaming Lips influence. But it's different enough that I think it's worth a listen, especially with Steve Burns' vocals. It's a very different experience than a Flaming Lips album.
Nice and approachable. Has a nice got a nice vibe going.
Yeah, it's a good term. It's a good vibe. And then, do you guys have any idea of what album we want to listen to next?
Oh yeah, we gotta do.
Yeah, I think that's what we were thinking about. Yeah.
Oh, well, I don't know that, so
gotta
it's going to
we're
be a
still
new
recording,
experience.
We gotta cut that out.
Oh, is it a surprise?
Yeah, we never let them know our next move. Yeah, I'm gonna bleep that out.
Yeah.
I think.
You should actually bleep it. Like it should be. What should the next album be? Oh, it's gonna be. And then just
Yeah.
or make it one really long extended. All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Unless anyone else has anything to say, I think this is the end.
Thanks for
Free my man Steve.
yeah. Free Steve.
free Stevie.
Free Steve Burns.
Steve
Hashtag
did
free
nothing
Stevie.
wrong.
I know what it sounded like, but the jury was rigged. Just let the man say what he has to say. I think we at least need to have a conversation about this.
Mm-hmm.
Or ride or
We
die.
All
can't-
right.
We can't silence the dialogue.
No. All right. Next time we're listening to Fight for Fighting. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.